Endings and beginnings are imminent with January numerology, as well as Pluto entering Capricorn, Venus entering Ophichus, and Mercury stationing direct. So if life begins to get active, so maybe why. But anyway, welcome everybody to our sky, our story. My name is Kelita Sahliah. I'm a real angel and mother, and I also dabble in crypto. So do make sure you check out my Crypto Angles podcast, which comes out every Sunday, where I combine astrology of the sky with the crypto market. And it's a very juicy space right now. So I just thought I'd put that out there. So as I said, this is astrology of the sky. So we use the actual visible sky to interpret our astrology. As you can see, we include the signs of Ophichus because that is noticeable in the sky. This is the inner child, the sea, so we look at the inner child over here as well. And of course, I always say, do not believe me, Google it, get an astronomy app and see for yourself where the stars are, because mainstream astrology is off by a few degrees. There's videos down below which explain a bit more as like why I look at the actual sky, but it makes a bit more logical sense to me to look at the sky because that's where astrology is happening, not just a circle drawing. But you can also grab these calendars. So this goes up until March 2024. There's a sale on this one, and then you can grab this one for 2024 to 2025 as we go through this calendar on this channel. So anyway, with that being said, these are my socials. Check it out, and it's going to be a long ass video, so it will be time stamped. I've kind of missed them in my past few videos, but it will be time stamped in this one. So the order of this video is we are going to touch on the numerology of January first. We're then going to move into the transits, then the moon transits. We're then going to clarify with tarot. Oh, 7 of Swords at the bottom. And then we're going to come back to the present moment, because the present moment is all that matters. Okay, so let's get into this anyway. I do also offer birth chart readings, so do grab that if you would like. But when it comes to the numerology, I need you to breathe in and out with me, okay? Because we're checking out 3 numerologies. If you are new to this, we're checking out the normal Gregorian calendar. We're going to check out the original calendar. So for example, January would actually be the 11th month, not the 1st, making February the 12th month. And then we're also following the 13 moon cycles as well, the numerology for that. So there's 3, and I feel they all play a role in numerology and the energy. So anyway, let's get right in. So Greg for the Gregorian, okay, my handwriting's not the best, but we're getting 1 plus 2 to 4. Can you believe it? We're in 2024, people. We're going from the 31st of December to the 6th of January. We are in 2024, but that equals, what does it equal? It equals 9. So we're getting 9 energy, which is amazing. And then I'm going to just put a ridge for the original. So that would mean we're in the 11th month, plus 2 to 4. And that equals 10. So we're getting the binary code there, but obviously that would just break down to 1. And then in the 13 moons, so I'll just put 13 with a moon, we're actually in, it would be the 10th moon cycle right now. So we're getting that 10 again, and then that equals 9 because it is basically the same as the January one anyway for the Gregorian. So what is this telling me? The reason I like to look at 3 is because 1, the matrix runs off the Gregorian calendar, or the world stage, what they want us to, live out. The original is kind of like what they run off and how it actually is. And of course, the base of the hologram is it's how the luminaries work, so the moon does a lot. So that's why I like to look at all of them and combine them. But as you can see, we're getting 919. So 9s are endings, 1s are beginnings. So it's like, because they're basically pretty much all the same, as I'm speaking about this one, I'll combine them all together. So 9 is the ending of something. Things are literally ending. So whether on the world stage or just the 13 moons, the 9 represents ethereal wisdom. So basically you have as below, no, you have as below with the 6, so above with the 9, basically. So with the 9 energy, it's like you're taking your ethereal wisdom and you're anchoring it in the wisdom that you've kind of picked up along the way, however long it may have been this whole year. You're taking that and you're anchoring it in for you to then start in this new beginning. So it's like the ending has come of something major and you're stepping into new beginnings. When it comes to this being a 10, and then of course you just bring it down to the 1, but the 10 is actually the binary code of our hologram, the 1s and 0s. That's masculine, the 1, and 0 is the feminine. So it's like, it's kind of amazing because the 1 and the 0 together creates 1 and 0. Put it together, it basically creates the spiral. That's how the spiral pattern happens within like the frequency of our hologram. So we're going a little bit deep. We're looking beyond matter itself and how it works and how these energies work. So it's like this spiral is where the energy would flow on. Okay, so this is why it's a binary code, because when these energies, the 10 pops up, it's basically a new spiral appearing for energy flow to flow on it. So it's like we've got this ending, we've got this new spiral appearing for the 1 energy to come in. So the 1 is it's assertive and it creates a structure. So when it comes to looking at like light and how the 1 energy works, the 1 would be that projection of light, which then the energy can follow and, you know, live it out basically. So there's a lot of endings happening in January and new beginnings, and I'm kind of feeling with that, along with the transits that are happening, life's gonna get a little bit active. Don't be surprised if it gets active. But when it comes to the numerology, that's kind of what I have to say about that. So we'll move on to the transits now, and I do want to say, let me just put this to the side while I find it. I do want to say January there will be a video coming out on how all of these luminaries support you for the month of January with where they're at. So do check that out. It will be on YouTube 1st of January. I'm going to do it every month, but then after January will be on the Patreon, and what we'll do, we'll synchronize all the luminaries together with the numerology of the month as well. So that video will come out with how all of them link to this, because during these Thursday videos we only go on what's happening within the cycle, which is here. We don't really synchronize like Fortuna, Chiron, Child, unless they're transiting. So if you are interested in that, do check it out. But look people, we are in January 2024. Can you believe it? So as you can see, we've got a lot going on here, but before that I'll show you December. We've got our first movement, and then I'll write it. So we've got our first one. Mars is moving into Sagittarius on the 31st, and after that we've got Venus doing her dance, Mercury stationing retrograde, Pluto entering Capricorn. Oh gosh, that's a big one. And then of course Venus going into Ophichus. So let me write these down. I feel I have to do just a video in and of itself of Pluto, because it's wild. So Mars is going into Sagittarius on the 1st. Venus pops into Scorpio. On the 2nd, Mercury is stationing direct in Ophichus. On the 3rd, we have Pluto entering Capricorn. And then on the 5th, Venus goes into Ophichus. So I'm going to do Venus together, so we're not going to do it in full order. We'll start on Mars, and then we'll do Venus, then Mercury, and we'll finish on Pluto. So let's get into it anyway. Time's ticking. Mars. So I do need to let you know, I do see all of these as technology. I see as highly advanced technology that just runs on autopilot, and it impacts the chemical elements within our bodies. Okay, that's how I see it. Use it as a tool, don't let the tool use you. But anyway, Mars is a fire element. It's fiery in nature, and it represents our drive and our passion, that kind of like god of war energy that will like get you to get up and go. You want to move your energy in that direction. You've got passion and that burning flame within you. That has been Mars. So Mars is moving from on Sunday, it will be in Ophichus, and then it's moving into Sagittarius. So we're moving from like that passion within us of truly wanting to transform. And you may even be feeling that now, like I've got this annoying little rash on my neck, and it's just appeared. I'm like, oh, what's this? And I'm still in that passion to like, you know what, I need to transform my body. And of course that still impacts because child is in there, my inner child as well. But we're going to synchronize all that in the January video and on Patreon, so do join that if you'd like to. But anyway, this passion within us, it's moving from, okay, we want to transform, and it's moving into this Sagittarius energy. So the way the zodiac story works, we usually go through our Scorpio little death, then from that death we're rebirthed and we transform in Ophichus. Okay, after Ophichus, Sagittarius comes in and you've energetically transformed. So and Sagittarius goes and takes you in a new direction, that mature passion flame. So Sagittarius being the last fire sign, it is the maturest, and its passion just burns even deeper, would I say. And it truly knows the direction it wants to go, as literally the symbology kind of makes it clear as well. It's an arrow pointing in that direction. We are going to go over all the symbols as well, their meaning, their depth, their gematria, and their chemical elements and properties throughout 2024, so stick around for that. But anyway, Sagittarius, being that centurion, is very mystical in nature because it's half man, half horse. So it fuels the 9th house. Okay, so we're getting that 9 ethereal wisdom energy of completions, endings here, because it's like you now know where you want to go. So you're ready to go in that direction, leave behind whatever just didn't serve you. This may even be around education and things of a philosophical nature. So this could be more esoteric type of stuff, or actual like learning degrees, diplomas, or whatever, university basically type of vibes. So I'm kind of seeing that travel as well, because you know where you're going. It's like our drive and our passion will be moving in this Sag energy, and I feel it will be even more potent because we're moving from ether. So Ophichus is ether. As you can see, it's all in this calendar. So it's in that one too, but Ophichus, okay, you see Ophichus, and the element is ether. So we're moving from this ether energy. It shows all the elements at the back, so you know them. I don't know if you can hear my children shouting, they distract me. But anyway, we're moving from this ether energy of the ability to bring in anything really, into bringing it into the direction we're ready to go, from our own philosophical perspective, our own our own unique direction, basically based off our philosophy. So even if that is, you've got your philosophy for a reason on why you want to travel to a certain location, because it will help you in whatever your endeavors are, that passion is going to come up strong. So if you're feeling more to travel, if you're feeling more, yes, I'm bringing my business in this direction, I'm going this direction in my career, if you literally are feeling more of that burning desire, then continue to trust yourself. Never make it fit, just trust yourself, because we've got fire and fire here. So it's like, but it's that fire and passion within maturity. So you've learned, like, okay, this is why I want to go in that direction. So that's what I'm seeing for Mars. And I also need to point out, I have mentioned it in another video, but keep in mind when luminaries are transiting from Ophichus into Sagittarius, it passes over the galactic center in the sky. So it's very powerful, and this is why it's like that transformation comes. So you've now got the energetic capacity to hold this new direction you're ready to go in. And it may not be new, like completely new, but this more mature reason for why you're going in that direction. You've now got that capacity to hold that within your cellular body. Okay, so moving out onto Venus. Venus represents the physical reality. Ultimately, that's what it represents, and it covers all of your six senses. So that's sight, touch, taste, hearing, smell, as well as intuition. Yes, darling. So Venus, as I said, it represents the six senses. So it represents all of the material. It's basically what you feel valuable. It's your material values. So it's what you see as valuable, which makes you want to use your six senses to interact with it in the hologram. Basically, that is Venus. It does cover, obviously, money as well, because that's part of the material, as well as love. So it covers all of that, and it's how you want to experience your senses within that. So right now, Venus is in Libra. So it's in Libra now. So basically how we've been trying to experience our reality and our six senses has been trying to get that balance, even when it comes to relationships, as well as relationships with yourself. So do kind of observe, how have you been when it comes to what you found valuable, which made you want to interact with it recently? Have you been trying to get that balance? Have you clearly noticed when things were off balance, so you were just like, oh, I do need to get that balance with yourself and with other relationships as well? Even when it comes to your work and things like that. So that would be interesting to know. But we're moving from that and we're tapping into Scorpio. So it's not in Scorpio for long. As you can see, Venus, she enters on the 1st and then she comes out on the 5th. So this is another reason why I like to look at the sky, because mainstream astrology, because it doesn't acknowledge Ophiuchus, all of the luminaries spend the least amount of time in Scorpio. They really do, and I feel it's because of its powerful properties. But anyway, Scorpio is fueled by, I'll show you to make sure, Scorpio is fueled by two luminaries. As you can see, Scorpio right here is fueled by Pluto as well as Mars. So we're getting this double Mars energy, this double fire. Basically, I'll just leave that like that, as Mars is making moves, so our fire element is active anyway. And as Venus goes into Scorpio, we're that passion when it comes to our six senses and what we find valuable in our hologram is gonna get stronger. So from Monday, I'm seeing it's going to get stronger. Our passion, even syncing it to Sagittarius, of the direction we're ready to go in. So pay attention if that passion comes up strong for you, because Mars fuels Pluto. Mars fuels Scorpio, as well as Pluto fueling Scorpio. So Pluto represents death and rebirth, transformation. So Pluto's only desire, Pluto, and we're going to touch on him obviously soon, but Pluto's only desire is to give you what you want. So it doesn't care about anything else. It's basically saying, if this is what you want, okay, we're doing it. And it will bring you experiences for you to live that out. And that experience will allow you to transform in any way, I guess. So we're getting that flame, that passion, when it comes to our six senses now and what we'll be experiencing physically. We're getting that flame, that passion, which will draw in experiences that may be a little bit challenging. Do keep that in mind, because Scorpio can be a very deep water sign. So it could come across as challenging. However, if it's coming into your life, you can do it, okay? Keep that in mind. But this challenge, because Pluto's not the easiest neither, will bring about, it will allow that transformation to happen in relationship to your passion, that passion and that desire that's in you. And I feel as you're physically experiencing that with your six senses, that burning flame, that passion, that opportunity to transform of whatever is drawn to you, it will definitely help you know more of the direction you're ready to go in. Okay, so we're synchronizing it all together. And remember, we are looking through the lens of the sun, which is Sagittarius. It's a lot about this direction, this focus, this clear preciseness of where we'd like to go, travel to, go, learn, all of that nature. Okay, so as we're experiencing these senses of this passion, this death, this rebirth, Venus then on Friday, on Venus Day, as you can see, Venus Day, enters into Ophichus. So as I said before, Ophichus is that transformative nature. Ophichus, this is basically, you can look at that as the realm, the 3D material reality, and then that's basically the sine wave. So obviously this is the Ophichus man, and that sine wave is the snake that is holding serpents. So he's known as Ophichus, the serpent bearer. But it represents the sine wave through the realm. So this is how you can transform your energy. Ophichus is linked to magnesium. So again, which is the sustainer, generator of energy within your body. Make sure you're obviously keeping up on your magnesium intake, and I definitely need to continue that as well. But yeah, we, from this passion, this burning, this transformation that comes about with Scorpio, we then transform. So within the physical reality, we are actually transforming now. With our five senses, how we're interacting, what we find valuable within the material reality, we're transforming so we can truly eventually have the capacity to experience with our six senses what we've been waiting for or preparing for this long time. Okay, and I just have to put in there, Venus does move on the 20th of January into Sagittarius. So I don't know, I'm kind of feeling the beginning of Jan. It's going to be just a lot of transformative energies, you know, and then we're going to be seeing that direction coming in just even more clearer now. It's been coming like even more breadcrumbs like the end past couple months, but I'm seeing we're going to be noticing it a lot in January. Endings, beginnings, okay, and we're transforming physically with our six senses to hold the capacity of what we've been preparing for. So going on to Mercury now. Mercury stationing direct. Mercury is all about energy exchange. From like the umbrella term, it's all about energetic exchange. So this is your thought process, what you're thinking about. It's your communication. It's even how your body communicates with itself. And money. So do check out my Crypto Angles podcast, because we focus more on money over there. But That's what Mercury is about. So it was retrograding, so we were crossing the I's, dotting the T's. I always say that wrong, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. When it comes to how we're exchanging our energy, we may have like gone back and just exchange our energy in certain ways, probably see, oh, what's this like, let me redo it this way or whatever. Change things, basically made different decisions on, even if it's monetary exchange, made different decisions on how we're communicating and things of that nature, to allow then forward momentum when it stations direct. So we already were in Ophichus before, but it retrograded back into Ophichus. So we're tapping back into that transformative energy with how we are choosing to exchange our energy. So it's like whatever we kind of tapped into, like the beginning of December. I believe it might have been the beginning of December or the end of November. No, it was the end of November. So from November, Mercury entered Ophichus. So just reflect back. How were you thinking, like the middle to the end of November? How were you thinking and things of that nature? Because I feel we're kind of going back over some of that as it stations direct and moves forward again in Ophichus. But when it comes to our communication, when it comes to how we exchange our energy in all ways, it's like it needed just a little bit more when it comes to transforming. So you've got the capacity, as I've been saying about Ophichus, you've now got the capacity to exchange your energy in that way. Okay, so there's still going to be transformative could be even transformative conversations that come up, transformative opportunities on how you exchange your energy could come up as well, whether that's monetary, you're talking to someone, could be like, oh, a nice collaboration or something, things of that nature. So just pay attention. But we're moving forward now when it comes to exchanging our energy. Yeah, and it's on the basis of transformation. So moving on to the last luminary before we get into the moons is Pluto. So as I mentioned with Scorpio, Pluto is very transformative in nature. As I said, it just wants to get you to what you say you want to be. You say that, it will draw experiences to you to give you the opportunity for you to transform through that experience. So that's all Pluto is going to do, and it takes its time. So it may be it may appear in your life as small things or continuous things, basically. So it's nothing like super fast. A lot of the other, this is the slowest moving luminary, so it's not like so fast basically. So it could appear in your life in different ways. There may be like a bigger time at some point, and then there may be just smaller ones throughout the way. So I just noticed nature's gentle. It is gentle when it's not destructive. But anyway, Pluto getting ready to transform. Getting ready to transform you this whole time. Where has it been? Sagittarius. So we were transforming through this Sagittarius lens of higher learning, things of a philosophical nature, from our own philosophical perspective. Like, because it's a slower moving luminary, Pluto has been in Sagittarius since 2006. Yeah, since 2006. It touched in Capricorn the beginning of this year before it retrograded back out of Capricorn, but now it's getting ready to go into it again and stay there for another long time. So I don't know if you just noticed, but as I said, it's been in Sag from since 2006. What was coming up a lot about then? So much more information, so much more. It started out with like the secret manifestation, like, wow, we can actually manifest. Cryptocurrency came on the scene and things of that nature. We had to learn about it, and this learning that we done was taking us in a new direction. We can now create our own life. A lot more people knew, like entrepreneurship just blowed up more for more people, instead of many people thinking, oh gosh, I can't do that. That's just for certain people. Many people began to write their own books, their own philosophy during that time. You see? So as we're moving from like, yeah, we're going in this direction, we're now ready to lay the foundation of that direction we've been going in. So what does that mean? Capricorn is fueled by Saturn. So we're getting Saturn energy in here, but it's about solid structures, basically solid structures for long-term goals. So it is very slow in nature, being an earth sign, but this is because it's laying a foundation for a solid long-term goal to stand. So Capricorn is, I see it as an amazing manifester because it's half fish, half goat. So that's water, earth, spirit, matter. So in order to exist in our hologram, we need both of them, and we need that balance to exist, you know, in harmony, I'd say. You can't just be all spirit, because then you wouldn't be here. Oh gosh, you wouldn't be here. Confirmation hit lamp. And you can't just be all matter, because you've got no spirit. You're just dense. You're not even aware of what you are, where you are, you know. So I feel that as I've said that, we may literally, it could not be everyone. Some people may be either or side, but we may get some of that transformation, of that recognizing of what we are, spirit and matter existing here. Okay, we may get that, and possibly that knowing of spirit and matter will allow those who are on that frequency anyway to truly set solid foundations within your life. This is a big luminary, and I feel I have to do just a whole video on it. I feel I do. I've linked it to crypto, but I feel I need to do a whole video just in life. But kind of what I'm seeing before we move on to the moons is that we are going to transform now through setting out and actually living out and creating these solid foundations that we've been working on during this Sagittarius energy. Now, depending who you are, you could have been active from 2006. I was still in school then. I was still in school, so my early adult years were only recently. But it's kind of like, oh gosh, a bird just pooed from the I just saw it drop. Anyway, I saw a geese. Someone was chasing a swan out of the road, and the swan was holding up a lot of traffic, and I saw it on the opposite side, and me and my friend, we just burst out laughing. I was like, what is that? But anyway, that's what I'm seeing anyway. Solid foundations are going to be set, and we're going to transform through these solid foundations. When it comes to cryptocurrency, it's going to be a solid foundation set within our collective right now. If you are working on any businesses or any career direction, the solid foundation is going to be laid now. And I say this particularly for people as if you've been working on things and going in a direction, and you've got ideas, but it's just it's just not so much established yet. The establishment is coming, so just trust yourself and continue. Obviously it's Pluto, so there may be occasions where it's not the easiest. However, if that experience comes to you, know that you can do it, and it's going to lay that solid foundation for that long-term goal. So confirmation burp. So trust yourself, okay? 100%. So let's move on to the moons. There's not a lot of moons, thankfully. There's not a lot of moon transits because we're going through Virgo. And then we'll move on to tarot. So the moon starts in Leo. On the 2nd, we then have a Virgo moon. And then on the 5th, literally the last day, no, it's actually the 6th. I didn't write the 6th, I forgot that. The 6th we have, can you see this on the board? We have a Libra moon on the 6th. So the moon is the mover of our emotions. It gets our energy in motion. The moon moves our energy, basically. That's the technology of the moon. So the moon would move our emotions. We'll get happy, sad, excited, infuriated, curious, a gut feeling, intuition, any of them things. And it's from that emotion we then act on something, whether that's acting on a thought, Mercury thought, whether that's acting on an action, Mars, whether that's acting on what you'd like to an energy exchange that you'd like to do in the physical reality, Venus. So that's how our emotions move us. And however our emotions move us and the acts that we do on the world stage, we always see it through the sun. You will see it through your own sun sign in combination with wherever the sun is transiting. So I'm an Aries. So if anything's to happen, I'm like, oh, okay, Aries, I'm seeing it in this Aries energy, but ideally, even though it's like Aries is the first element, excited, blah blah, it's happy to do things new, I'm also seeing it through the lens of maturity, that more deeper mature flame and passion, basically. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there. I do offer readings if you'd like that, so do let me know, of course. But the moon, anyway, mover of our emotions, it starts out in Leo, and so that's telling me, I mentioned this in my last video because it ended in Leo, so that's kind of telling me that our emotions are going to be moving us in quite a bold way. Now the moon will be illuminated, as you can see, until the 4th. So basically, while it's in Virgo, we're going to get our 3rd quarter moon till here, in between here. So we're still in this illumination of trusting a bit more of our intuition, our gut instincts, just how we're feeling, with just a little bit less logic until more of the logic comes in after the 4th. So our emotions, anyway, may be moving us in this bold, confident way, because that's Leo, and it's from this confidence we may just act out quite confidently because our emotions are moving us in that way. That's kind of what I'm seeing there at the beginning. So even when it comes to Mars being in Sag and Venus being in Scorpio as well, so it's like when it comes to our burning passion, that, you know, transformation could come through. Our emotions are moving us in this confident way to go about experiencing our 6 senses through this passion and rebirth, basically. And then as well, our passion and rebirth, our emotions are moving us confidently in terms of this deeper mature passion of this direction we're ready to go. Okay, so that's how I synchronize them together. Do let me know if you resonate with this, if you like how I think it, if you've heard this before, if you like the way that I do it. I appreciate any and all feedback. So as our emotions are moving us from this confident, bold manner, we then move into Virgo. We move into Virgo on the 2nd. The moon is still illuminated, of course, till the 4th, but the moon will still be in Virgo. So our emotions will then move us to from being bold and confident of like, yeah, I'm bold and confident with this direction, with my burning passions, desire, this transformation. It then moves into this Virgo energy, which is a bit more softer than Leo, as she's feminine. And this Virgo energy will bring us to pay more attention to the details of things. So it's like our emotions will be moving us to probably slow down a little, to look at all the details, to analyze type of things, as that's what Virgo is about. She just wants to give her love in the best way she possibly can. That's Virgo. So yeah, our emotions will be moving in that way as we move from full on like more intuition, gut feelings, into a bit more logic. So our emotions will begin to move us in a more logical and rational way. We have to, it has to make sense, basically. And again, this makes sense with Virgo because she likes to pay attention to all the details, look at everything, so she can exchange her energy in that way. And it makes sense. It does make sense because as we're going, our passions moving into this new direction, we're experiencing this passion rebirth, basically, as well as our energy exchange stationing direct in how it's transforming. Our emotions are moving us to pay attention to the details, to analyze the details. Yeah. So if you're feeling to just look deep into stuff, trust yourself. Just trust yourself. And then, of course, that is going to continue till Sunday. More logic will come in based around how you're even ready to lay these foundations that may come up, how you are ready to transform. Your emotions are moving you in a logical way, okay? And do keep in mind, Pluto, it is a slower moving luminary, so it needs time to fully transition into and pick up these Capricorn energies. But as the moon, then you've paid attention to the details of things, you're knowing how to exchange your energy, because Mercury fuels Virgo. Okay, and interesting, as the moon enters Virgo then, and Mercury, who fuels Virgo, stations direct in this transformative energy. But then the moon begins to move into Libra, and it will start out the next cycle in Libra as well. So we'll definitely touch on that a bit more, but ultimately it's like our emotions are moving us to create what we see in our mind and bring it out to bring that balance. So it's going to be interesting to see how these transformations kind of come up and show up. It's going to be interesting to see how that burning passion comes with Mars, and how you'd like transform with Venus as well, because, and even just any energies or sparks that come up with wanting to lay a solid foundation, because as your emotions move you into the 6th and the beginning of the next cycle, it's about bringing that balance of these things. Okay, so with that being said, just take a little deep breath with me. We're going to get into the tarot to clarify. And breathe out. So we are pulling for 2 questions just for the month of January, as well as this cycle. So don't want it to be too long. So what can you tell me? Can we have, my leg, I had to just move, soz. Can we have, I am shuffling, but you know, because of the light and the camera, it's awkward for me to kind of do this, but let me try to do it. The collective energy of January 2024. What is happening? What's happening for January 2024? Clearest sign, please. Oh, kind of just flipped right out. These flipped out. One more, just to clarify, January 2024. Knight of Cups in reverse. Clarify for me. The 8 of Wands in reverse. Interesting. One more for the month of January and the collective. Clearest message. All of this will be time stamped if you're here with me this far. If you're here with me this far, I truly appreciate it, you know. It means a lot to me with the devil in reverse. Okay, can you see that? Let me just move you out the way so I can put them here. Knight of Cups in reverse, devil in reverse. And we're just going to ask now, can I please have the energy, potential energy for the collective of this cycle as Mercury stations direct, as Pluto enters Capricorn with some Ophichus energy with Venus. Clear message. I hate when loads just fall out. It's just like, what's being said here? Clearest message, please. We've got the Hermit. We're hermiting. We are hermiting, okay, for this cycle. And as I looked down once, I did see that before. So, any more clarity? Oh, that's like 10 cards. Come on. Come on. Clarity for this cycle, please, for the collective. Because I wait till the fallout, not necessarily just flip over. One more clarity, if that's all that's needed. Is that all that's needed? It's just a Hermit for this cycle. Is that the Hermit? Oh, and that come out. Okay, I'm feeling that that's all I need to kind of do. Got the King of Swords at the top of the deck. So, and we've got Temperance at the bottom of the deck in reverse. So I feel we're not waiting for something. I don't know. I feel we're not really waiting for something, not really having to compromise at this moment. But yeah, let's take a look anyway at this little book. We've got 10 of Wands, 8 of Wands in reverse, Devil in reverse, and Knight of Cups in reverse. So I'm on the Cups first, so let's just read that. Knight of Cups, idealization, over emotional, in love with love, temperamental, exaggerated feelings, and victim savior relationship. So we're not in that victim savior relationship. We're not going to be over emotional, not just too like heavily over romantic and just head over heels type of vibes is what I'm getting. Where are these ones? So 10 and 8 of Wands in reverse. So uphill struggles coming to an end. As I mentioned, endings. Uphill struggle coming to an end. There's new beginnings for sure. No heavy burdens. You're not feeling like you're to blame for stuff. You're not working like too much or taking on too much. Yeah, you're not struggling with your workload. And this uphill struggle, especially if you've been feeling it, maybe slowing down. Got the 8 of Wands in reverse. So news, quick development, making intentions clear, everything up in the air, sorting out priorities, resolving unfinished business. So there may be some unfinished business up in the air. Not much news coming in. Or what was the other one? Or quick developments of things. So that's interesting. It's like transformation, hermit mode. There's no childishness. There's no hidden intentions behind things with the devil in reverse. There's no mysteriousness. There's no illusions, basically. And you're not giving childlike responses to stuff. That was the devil. Let's just quickly read it. Yeah, so you're not in illusion. There's no real temptation, materialism. Yeah, you're not in this limited perception. And I feel this is probably because there's not like a tower moment for change. Like this comes like news, quick change, developments. Because like there's not this tower moment. I feel this hermit plays a big role because look, it's 9. It's number 9. 9 energy. Sag is 9. Ophichus is the 9th zodiac sign, so we're getting a lot of 9s. So Sagittarius fuels the 9th house, but Ophichus is the 9th sign. We're getting 9, 9. It's a lot of 9s energy. So I feel this is like the hermit mode of this wisdom, this ethereal wisdom of endings, like proper endings. That's probably why there's not like quick news developments, because there's not this big tower. We're hermiting because these endings are coming in and we're getting used to these new beginnings, which is all of this Ophiuchus energy and Venus in Ophiuchus too, and this Scorpio transformation. So this is probably why we're in hermit mode. Not much of a tower. We're probably not head over heels or over emotional about stuff, because we're getting ready to step into this one energy of new beginnings. And you can't have quick things coming in and quick news and all that stuff when it's hermit time. It's time to transform. And in this transformation, you know what you're doing. So why this upward hill battle is coming to an end. And there's no illusions at this time. There's no illusion. So I'm just going to say, fully trust yourself. I say it all the time, but you need to trust yourself. Trust yourself with how, even if you feel like hermiting or anything of that nature. Yeah, and with the King of Swords at the top of the deck. Can you even see that? King of Swords was at the top of the deck. So we've got like assertiveness, articulate, just, analytical, high standards. You get to the grip with whatever the situation is. So hermit mode, people. Let's read the Hermit. I didn't even read it, did I? Number 9. So discretion, detachment, withdrawal, developing inner wisdom. Knowledge is a burden. Fear of revealing a secret. Interesting. Searching for the truth, waiting on solitude, and looking for direction. Yeah. So I feel that this whole cycle, we're just getting ready to just go in this new direction. We're still looking through the lens of the sun, of course, setting down foundations, and we're transforming to allow all of this to happen. So that's what I'm seeing there. But this cycle, no illusions. If illusions may have come up, was it this cycle? I think we had the devil. I'm sure the last video it was the devil's. Was it before? I don't even know. Oh gosh. But yeah, it's just hermit mode. There's no tower moment. It's transformation time, basically, to finish off these endings and get into the new. But let's come back now to the present moment, because present moment is all that matters, lad. Take a deep breath. And breathe. Sure. On the present moment, we are still pretty much in full moon energy. So do keep that in mind. Full moon energy of Gemini. So full moon energy of Gemini. As I'm recording this video, so in the morning it will be, but at night, the present, when you lot are watching it, the moon will be in Cancer. Okay. And the last thing to pay attention to is on Friday. Is it tomorrow or Sunday or Saturday? No, it must. If it's not, I think it's Saturday. But Jupiter stations direct in Aries. So obviously I've done a lot of that in my other video, but it is stationing direct. Was I gonna do a whole video about that? I probably will. But it's stationing direct anyway. So we're expanding out when it comes to our front house, basically. So keep that in mind. People will see your expansion, whatever way it expands. And then of course, pay attention to how you felt today, trusting if you were trusting in the earlier day on how to exchange your energy, Gemini's communication, and then our emotions then. by the time you're watching this and for tomorrow is going to be in Cancer. So I feel our emotions are going to be moving us from this point for a couple days on what is truly important to us, what we want to nurture and take care of. Yeah. So pay attention to how your emotions move you to what you find truly important that you want to love. But with that being said, do of course grab, oh gosh, the whole thing moved. Do of course grab this calendar. It's wonderful. I know the other one is coming to an end, but it's still an amazing resource to kind of just learn if you'd learn, back test, date if you want to back test. There's only a few physical copies of this left, but there's digital if you want to just have it as a learning resource. It is amazing, so do grab that. Do get a reading with me if you like, where we look at all of the luminaries. There's standard and extended available. So the standard, we cover all of the luminaries including Chiron. The extended, we look into your inner child and your birth card of illumination, along with a little bit of your birthday numerology, and we synchronize it all together. So do let me know if you would like them readings, and of course check out my Crypto Angles podcast. Keep in tune for all the videos coming out in 2024, as well as the Patreon, where we'll go deeper into how the luminaries support you every month, along with the proper energy of all of these moons, looking into the gematria and the periodic table. And that one will start in April, but there'll be 2 videos every month from April onward on Patreon. But with that being said, do give a like on this video if you resonated, and I'll catch you in my next Our Sky, Our Story podcast. Angel out. Bye.